Alright, so here's the rotor. It comes with races already in there. So what I'm going to do is just take some wheel bearing grease. I'm old school. I do it the dirty, nasty way. And I'm just going to throw a bunch up in here in the middle. I mean, it seemed to always be like that. Maybe it just works its way in there, but I don't know. And then I'm going to grease up the race, and we're going to put the bearing in there next. And, well, actually, we're going to pack the bearing next. So let me show you that too. So you're going to get the bearing. It's going to come with the race that you don't need because there's already one in there. So they make tools for this. I've never used one. I've always done it the old way, the old-fashioned way. That's how my dad showed me, so I just always stuck with it. I don't know if it's better or not, but it works. Anyway, you're gonna put a big old glob of grease on your hand, and then you're gonna sit there and kind of press into it. And what's happening is the grease is gonna slowly work its way through the bearings, and you're gonna start to see it come squishing out right there. See that? So as soon as you start to see that, you start to rotate. And just keep rotating as you see it come out. That's how you pack a bearing. Alright, you got all that extra grease in there. We're going to sit and drop the bearing. Make sure you put the bearing in the right way. You can see it's tapered, so the smaller diameter is this way, the larger diameter is this way. The larger diameter is always going to go away from the rotor, so while we're working on this side, and you'll kind of know, you can't really get it in there wrong. I mean, if you do, you're going to have issues, but basically the taper follows the race inside the rotor. So maybe I should buy one of those tools and try it. Now I'm going to get the seal. I'm going to go ahead and use some of this grease to make it easy to put the seal in. Okay, and then, you know, I think I'm going to go ahead and grease the seal too right now, since it's out, easy to get to. Now we're going to set that guy right there. Wipe my hands up. Remember that PVC pipe? The coupler? It's a 2-inch. It works perfect on these guys. So alright, so I'm going to just put some grease all around everything. Grease is your friend. And we're ready to throw the rotor on. And by the way, if you didn't see the last video, I painted all these areas. These rotors are not they're not, some of these rotors, sometimes they come painted in these areas, but these are not. So boom. Alright, saw that pop on. Okay, next, outer bearing. Same as the inner, it's going to come with a race. You're not going to need it because these rotors came with races in them. So I'm just going to take that out. I mean, it's kind of nice that they press the race in there, because that's a real pain in the butt to change. So same thing, pack the bearing until you see it squishing out. Probably should have put some grease all up in here. That's gonna go in there. And then same thing. The taper, the smaller end, goes towards the center of the rotor. So push that guy in. Alright, now we got our kit, our luck nut kit. So the pieces, the first thing is this washer. You can see how it's got a key in it. That's going to go on first. Then you take the nut, put that on next. Rotor's on there. So what you want to do is kind of tighten it up. See how it's kind of tight? Don't crank it down. Don't force it because you could damage the bearings. So you just kind of want to snug it. And then you're going to back it off just a little bit. How much? I don't know. I can't tell you. I don't know how to quantify that, you know. That's tight. About that much. Feels good. A little bit loose. Alright. Now, in case you don't know this, I know most of you guys do, but just in case there's some young guys, and who knows, 100 years from now there's still a YouTube, and my great-grandkids can watch this video. Basically, all these little cutouts are for a variety of combinations. They're not exactly spaced apart. So when you put this on here, see how that's in the way? You just keep rotating it until you find one that fits, like that. And then you throw your cotter pin through there. Okay. Alright, big question. Is this going to fit? It says it's for a Chrysler. That looks pretty good. I mean, it's going on, so it's going to be tight. That's good. That'll work. Okay. Oh, my bad. Like that. And we've got our disc brake quiet stuff here. There we go. Alright, I guess I went overkill on the squeak stuff. Probably should have put it on the caliper, I guess, instead of the pad. That's right. We'll light this up. Good enough. I'm not worried about perfection here. Alright. Alright, same thing as before. Fill it full of grease, pack the bearings, put them in, put the seal on this side, put it on the spindle. Alright, so this time I'm going to put the no squeak stuff on the caliper and then put the pads in here. Well guys, you're not gonna believe this. Well, here I am trying to put the brake shoe in, and it is hitting this area right here, and here is too narrow. So I could just grind the pad right here and here. And I don't know, maybe is it possible that it's the pad that's messed up? It's possible. But because I had so many issues with the caliper on the other side, it makes me suspicious that the caliper's screwed up. And they just cast this thing and machined it too freaking narrow. So I can't put this in. If I put this in and I try to, hammer this in all the way, it's just gonna jam, and then this pad is not gonna be working like it's supposed to, So, I don't know if you could see that gap right there. It's basically wedging in here right now. It's just so frustrating, man. Alright, let's try this again. I ended up buying a whole nother kit on eBay just to get this thing. This thing was killing me. So this is the caliper bracket that I had before, and I thought was bad because I couldn't get this thing to slide through. Never mind. This is the one, right? Slide this in here. See how it cocks over? So I went and bought a brand new one. Put it in here and it fits better, but it's still jamming in there, right? And what I didn't pay attention to is a couple of things. So, well, go back to this. I ended up having another set of pads, so I thought, let me go try these, and it fits no problem. Okay, thought, what the hell? All right, let's try it on this one. Fits no problem, but it does stop like right there. Well, turns out this guy has got a little burr right there. So no big deal. I can file that off, so that'll clear. So this is the one I thought was bad. Turns out it's good. This is the brand new one. It's good also. So why does this one fit and this one doesn't? Well, looking at it more closely, see right here, the metal part is wider than the pad. So in this guy, this whole pad is shifted this way. See that big old ledge there? And then see how it's overhanging here? That part overhanging is what's causing it to jam up. So that's my bad for not being more observant. Yeah, I kind of want to, so my temptation is to see if I can grind this down or something, to get it to clear, so that, because I already got the pads on the other side, and I don't know if I can or not. I mean, I don't know, this material for braking may not want to be ground down. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to try grinding it, we'll see what happens, and if it doesn't work, then I'll go ahead and put these pads on, and then I'll just have to pull them off on that side and go with those. Alright, well, there you go. Now you know. So if you got a set of these or something and you got a problem with them fitting, have a look at the pads and see if it's hanging past the metal bracket. Alright, let's see if that works. Alright. Clears, no problem. So there, that's where it was jamming up. So, should be good now. Well, on the bright side, I don't have a junk caliper bracket. This is brake and caliper grease. Prevents the squeaky brake noise. Alright. Finally, success. I put this other stuff on there, but it's more like a silicone. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put some of this on here too. The other side's got that silicone stuff. It's kind of dried out, so I threw it away. Probably should have waited till after I finished this so it's the same on both sides, but oh well, it'll be fine.